Welcome, everyone. My name is Chelsea Moyer. I serve as the Assistant Vice Provost of our UMBC operations at the universities at Shady Grove in Rockville, Maryland. And me and my colleagues are thrilled to welcome you to our UMBC Accelerated Professional Graduate Programs information session this afternoon. All of you, of course, who are joining the session this afternoon are current UMBC retrievers. Yay, undergraduate students. We know you have that UMBC retriever pride. And many of you, I assume, are considering pursuing a graduate degree program through UMBC, which is wonderful. So this session today is to provide you with an introduction to the accelerated program offered through UMBC's graduate school, where you can save some time and money as an undergraduate student in getting a head start on your graduate degree at UMBC. So again, so happy you've joined us this afternoon and excited to share these details and information with you. Alrighty, so again, I'm Chelsea Moyer. I serve as the Assistant Vice Provost of our operations here at UMBC-Shady Grove in Rockville, Maryland. So I have my hands in lots of different pots, but essentially I am responsible along with my awesome team for the administrative operations and support of all of our undergraduate programs and graduate programs on site. So that includes supporting our students, staff, and faculty associated with those programs. And I have a whole section later on in our presentation where I'll provide all of you some additional insight into the universities at Shady Grove, UMBC Shady Grove, and what that's all about. So looking forward to sharing that information with you. All right, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Stephanie.
Thank you, Chelsea. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stephanie Allen, and I am the Assistant Director of Professional Programs at our UMBC main campus here in Catonsville. I'm also the manager of our Outreach Partnership and Recruitment team. I look forward to sharing specific information relating to our Catonsville offerings a bit later within this presentation. But at this time, I'd like to welcome Mike, who will provide an overview of the full accelerated program and representation of the UMBC Graduate School. Mike?
Thanks so much, Stephanie. Hey, everyone. My name is Mike Swiga. I'm the Director of Recruitment and Admissions over at the Graduate School. And thank you so much again for joining us. And let's go ahead and get this thing started. Next slide, please. So just a quick overview of what this presentation is going to entail. I'm going to provide you with broad strokes of what the accelerated program is and does, the opportunities within it. And then we're going to kind of get more focused as we go along. Stephanie's going to talk about our professional programs, and then Chelsea's going to do an overview of what's available specifically at Shady Grove, whereas I'll be talking about all the kind of the broad program as a whole. We go to the next slide, please. So the accelerated program, this is the website. Next slide, please. What is the accelerated program? The accelerated program allows our undergraduate students to get a head start with grad school. You are able to double count credits that you take at the graduate level towards your undergraduate and graduate degrees, saving you time, saving you money. It's available to all UMBC students, whether you're at Shady Grove or at our Catonsville campus, and all of the programs are also available to students at both campuses. Normally, accelerated students can double count between 9 to 12 credits, depending on the program. Towards a master's degree, we also offer an accelerated certificate program where students can double count up to 6 credits. What this means practically is you save about a semester's worth of graduate work as an undergraduate while fulfilling those undergraduate degree totals at the same time with the same classes that you need for your bachelor's degree, whether they're upper level credits or take the place of 400 level credits for your specific major. Next slide, please. So what are some of the benefits of this program? Why double count your credits and start taking grad classes while you're still an undergrad? Like I mentioned, it normally reduces a semester's worth of graduate work. That also means it reduces the amount of graduate tuition that you're paying by a semester. This coursework, this program doesn't cost you anything extra. The credits that you take as an undergraduate, even though they're graduate level, are billed at the undergraduate rate, which is significantly less than our undergraduate tuition. Graduate is based on credit hour. It can be a little expensive. So you have the opportunity to save thousands of dollars by participating in this program. It's also a great way to see whether graduate school is a good fit for you. If you're on the fence, maybe thinking about participating in a master's degree program, the accelerated program allows you to take some grad classes, get a feel for it, and see whether you'd like to continue and pursue this as your next step. Um, you don't have to participate right afterwards. You can take a break in between. So you can take up to 5 years to and still double count those credits toward a grad program. So it doesn't lock you in. There's tons of flexibility, but it's a great way to kind of, take a look and see whether the coursework is interesting for you. Also, graduate admissions is a lot different than undergrad. Our grad programs are the ones that set the requirements and actually review the applications to their program. So it's faculty members within that graduate program reviewing your application and making a decision. Getting connected to that graduate faculty, having letters of recommendation, perhaps from the professor of a grad class that you took, significantly increases your chances of admission into these master's programs. While not 100%, our admission rate to graduate programs from students who participated in the accelerated program is extremely high. Next slide, please. I want to talk quickly about a few of the requirements. The program is designed for juniors or folks who are at the junior credit level. But students at any stage can start. We normally have kind of two typical entrants into the program. One who wants to take a grad class each of their maybe last 3 or 4 semesters. And so they'll just tack on a 600 level class as part of their schedule, and they'll do one and kind of fill out that 9 to 12 credits and across a number of semesters as they get ready to graduate. The other typical accelerated student is one that maybe has one requirement left to finish their undergraduate degree, wants to get started on a grad degree, and kind of stacks that last semester with a bunch of grad classes, and maybe needs a gen ed requirement or something to finish out their undergraduate degree. But really, it's very flexible, and departments can work with you wherever you're at in your academic career. The application does require approval by the graduate program director and your current advisor. We always recommend starting with your current advisor and getting in contact with the graduate program before you apply to the accelerated program so they know who you are. A 3.0 GPA is recommended, but it's not a line in the sand. We do have folks that enter that are under that, though I think the average GPA for folks participating is a 3.4. One other kind of procedural note is if you do end up joining the accelerated program, you'll get this reminder a lot, but there is an additional form, this request to take courses for grad credit. The accelerated program allows your classes to be double counted. This request for approval form opens your enrollment for those specific classes so that you can actually register. That's the purpose and why we have you fill out 2 things. Next slide, please. A couple common questions that we get about the program and some things it doesn't do. It won't allow your coursework to necessarily be counted at other institutions. So it is up to that other institution and likely that other institution's graduate program to decide whether to count the 600 level classes you take as an undergrad at that other school. For UMBC, it absolutely does, whether at Catonsville or Shady Grove, those courses will be double counted. But for example, if you decide to pursue a graduate program at College Park, it is still up to College Park to accept those credits. We can't guarantee that another institution will or won't. It also won't allow you to complete all of the coursework as an undergraduate. So that 9 to 12 credits for a master's program or 6 credits as a certificate student, as I mentioned before, is normally a semester's worth of grad work. It is not the entirety of a master's degree or the entirety of a certificate. You do still need to enroll in the graduate school as a graduate student to earn a graduate degree. Also, as I mentioned before, it doesn't guarantee admission into the graduate school, but I will say our accelerated students are much, much, much more likely to gain admission. It's not 100%, but most succeed. When you're in those grad classes talking with the graduate professors, not only will you get a sense if the grad program is something you want to pursue, it also gives you a sense of whether the grad program is a good fit. So that's another advantage. Go ahead and next slide, please. So as I mentioned, you do still need to apply to grad school and become a grad student, but there are additional benefits to the exceptionally high admission rate. There's no application fee. You don't have to send us an official transcript. Some departments waive requirements, depends what you join. But there's also a $1,000 alumni scholarship that we offer. That's $1,000 off your first semester of graduate tuition. So if you're an accelerated student and you finish up your bachelor's degree and move into grad school pursuing a master's or a certificate program, that graduate tuition is going to be reduced by $1,000 for your first semester. Also, again, as I mentioned previously, there is some other forms that you need to fill out. We remind you of those forms, and it's part of the onboarding process at graduate school. So not something you need to be super concerned about right now, but just so you're aware, there's a transfer of credit form. That's after you become a graduate student. Also, breaks are fine in between undergrad and grad school. As I previously mentioned, you can take up to 5 years and still double count those courses. So if you want to explore a master's program, explore the job market, you can always come back and still have those graduate courses counted as long as it's within 5 years. Next slide, please. So this slide showcases all of the participating departments across UMBC. Each of these programs offers an accelerated pathway for students. So through the accelerated program, you can pursue a master's or certificate with them. In bold and starred are our professional programs that Stephanie is going to highlight in just a moment. Next slide, please. And just so you're not hearing it from us, we do have a quote from a current data science student who's pursuing their MPS at Shady Grove. I'll let you guys go ahead and read the slide, but yeah, it's not just me saying it. It allowed them to save time, energy, and resources, i.e. money, and they're finishing their graduate degree a year early. So we have around 100 students, active undergraduates participating, and a little bit fewer graduate students, but the time to completion is shorter, so they're going to be fewer in that pool. But it's a popular program for our undergraduates. And yeah, if you have any questions for me, feel free to pop them in chat or wait till the end where we do our open Q&A, because I'm going to pass it off to Stephanie, who will talk about our professional programs. Next slide. And Stephanie, if you'd like to take it away.
Thank you, Mike. Again, I'm Stephanie Allen, and I work directly with the professional programs on our main campus here in Catonsville. I'm going to now share and introduce the program offerings we have at our main campus. Next slide, please. Among our many key points, I'd like to specifically highlight the following. Professional programs are programs that help prepare students for careers in specific fields. Accordingly, our curriculum focuses on the skill set that employers indicate are important and vital to excel in their workplace. Next slide. Many of our students are working professionals, so it's really important to us that we provide convenient evening and hybrid courses. And to clarify, hybrid courses are a mix of in-person and remote participation. With our small class sizes, you'll not only have more direct access with the faculty, but it also allows support towards an overall work, school, and life balance. Next slide. And then speaking of the direct access with faculty, our classes are taught by industry experts, which really allows for a relevant classroom experience, as well as valuable networking opportunities. And those networking opportunities are both while you're a current student and towards your future as an alumni. Next slide, please. You heard Mike speak a little bit about, well, not a little bit, you heard him speak earlier, I should say, about some of the programs that are offered or in participating in this accelerated program. Within our Division of Professional Studies, we currently have 9 master's degree programs and over 22 certificate programs. So you're now seeing on screen a snapshot of our current main campus programs currently participating in the accelerated program. And with our ever growing interest in this special opportunity, we truly expect even more programs who will soon request to be added. I'm also going to pause at this time and ask my colleague Chelsea to share the offerings that are available, particularly at the Shady Grove campus.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. And again, I'll provide a bit more detail in just a few minutes about Shady Grove and how we operate. But in addition to the programs that you see noted on this slide, we offer 4 Master Professional Studies programs at UMBC-Shady Grove in Rockville, Maryland. 2 of those 4 programs are shared programs, meaning that they're also offered at UMBC-Catonsville, and those include both cybersecurity and data science. So I want all of you to be aware that if you have an interest in either of those 2 degree programs, again, cyber or data science, both of those programs are available at Catonsville and at Shady Grove. In addition, we have 2 unique programs that are offered explicitly and only at the Shady Grove location, and that includes our MPS, our Master Professional Studies in Biotechnology, and our Master Professional Studies in Industrial Organizational Psychology. So just wanted you to be aware that you have options across 2 different campus locations. Thanks so much, Stephanie.
You're welcome. Next slide, please. I previously mentioned the benefit of working with industry experts towards your networking opportunities. We are very, very purposed in assisting our students with their professional and career goals. And as such, UMBC graduates are well sought out for employment opportunities. So we wanted to include a slide that represents real life examples of companies that employ our graduates. You'll see quite a bit on here, and I'm only going to highlight a few. There's not a specific highlight. I'm just throwing a couple of them out there. T. Rowe Price, John Hopkins Applied Physics Labs, Federal Reserve, Ford Motor Company, Northwood Grumman Corporation, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, quite a bit of different organizations and companies that actually employ our UMBC graduates. And again, even though I said it, I want to make sure that I state that again. These are not just national companies that employ people in the fields. These are companies that employ UMBC graduates. So I think that's a great point for you to see. And this is just a small sample listing of them. All right, it is now my pleasure to formally pass the mic back to my colleague, Chelsea Moyer. Chelsea.
All righty, thanks again, Stephanie. And yay, I get to provide some background on UMBC at the universities at Shady Grove. Again, as I noted earlier, we are located in Rockville, Maryland, and this slide provides you with some contact information. UMBC at Shady Grove we have our own website, shadygrove.umbc.edu. So you're welcome to check that out. And our Shady Grove SG professional programs at umbc.edu is a general email inbox that my colleague Chris and I manage. So if you have any questions about graduate programs offered at UMBC Shady Grove or questions about the accelerated program, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at that address. All right, next slide, please. So the University at Shady Grove is a unique setup, and I just wanted to provide all of you with some context on who we are and how we operate. So the University at Shady Grove is what's called a regional higher education center in the state of Maryland. And on our campus, it's one campus, again, called the University at Shady Grove. You'll hear me refer to it as USG for short. There are 9 different University System of Maryland institutions right on this one campus in Rockville, Maryland. And this is a picture of campus. Next slide, please. So again, 9 universities, one campus, and amongst the 9 universities on site, there are 80+ academic programs that are offered here. Now, at the universities at Shady Grove, across those 9 institutions, there are undergraduate programs that are offered, and there are graduate programs, both master's and PhD programs. The website that you see at the bottom of the slide, shadygrove.umbc.edu, again, takes you to our UMBC Shady Grove website specifically. So if you're interested in UMBC programs, that's the site that you'll want to check out. Next slide, please. So a big draw for us, being located UMBC at the University of Shady Grove, is location. We are located right along the I-270 corridor, again in Rockville, Maryland. So you noted that Stephanie shared a number of different industries and companies and regional employers where our students move on to be employed. So many of those firms, those companies are located right on this I-270 tech corridor. So a lot of our students who attend either undergraduate or graduate programs that are offered at UMBC Shady Grove do intend to stay in the local area and often are employed by companies that are literally right in our backyard. At the University at Shady Grove, we are 18 miles away from Washington, D.C., about 40 miles away from our home campus in Catonsville, Maryland. So again, in a really nice location to be able to access both the Washington, D.C. metro area as well as Baltimore. We are also located about 4 miles from the Shady Grove Metro, the Red Line, and there's a new bus transit system, the Pink Line and the Lime Line, that takes students directly from the Metro to the University at Shady Grove campus. One thing I do want to note is that the University at Shady Grove is a full service campus. However, it is non-residential, so there's no on-campus housing for students. All of our students are commuter students and take advantage of a shared service system, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. Next slide, please. So each student who is earning a degree through one of the 9 institutions located at the universities at Shady Grove is earning a true, authentic degree from that home institution. In other words, if you're a UMBC student who's enrolled in a UMBC undergraduate or graduate program offered here at the University at Shady Grove, you're going to be earning a true UMBC degree, right? There's no asterisk that says Shady Grove. Many of our faculty who teach at our home campus in Catonsville also teach down here at Shady Grove and vice versa. One of the things that is a little bit different, however, compared to our home campus in Catonsville, is that all of the 9 universities here on campus operate within what we call a shared service center system. So what that means is at the University at Shady Grove, we have a Center for Career Development. There is the Macklin Center for Leadership and Communication, essentially an academic success center. There is the Center for Counseling and Well-Being. Those are just a few examples, but all of those student-facing shared service centers are shared across the 9 universities. So you very well may be a UMBC undergraduate or graduate student here at the University at Shady Grove. You may head over to the Career Center here on site to have your resume reviewed or to practice your job interviewing skills. And you may be sitting next to someone in the lobby who's from the University of Maryland, Baltimore, or University of Maryland, College Park. So what's really nice, I think, in being a student at the University at Shady Grove is not only do you have direct exposure to your fellow UMBC students with whom you're taking classes, but you also get to form really strong connections with students from other institutions that are located here at USG. We are also really focused at USG on career readiness. So on the slide, you'll see there's 9 different career competencies. They range from teamwork and collaboration to proficiency in digital technology to professionalism and work ethic. So a lot of the services that are provided through the shared service center model, USG, are focused on helping students across the board to feel career ready and to develop those skills and competencies that really will be necessary as you enter the workforce. Next slide, please. Okay, so again, just want to reiterate that if you choose to pursue a graduate degree at UMBC Shady Grove, you'll be earning a true UMBC degree. A special shout out to the environment here at the University of Shady Grove and at UMBC Shady Grove specifically. We do offer small class sizes. So our average student faculty ratio is 18 to 1. So you are going to be in a position to develop strong relationships with faculty members, peers, et cetera, and support services here on campus. So this is a community where you can access a lot of different folks with different backgrounds and resources to help you along the way as you traverse your academic path. I do want to make note, because this often comes up from our students, money is a big deal. The whole goal is to save money and get a good education in the process and to try to do that as efficiently and effectively as we can. So tuition at UMBC-Shady Grove is the same as our tuition at UMBC-Catonsville, okay? But the fee structure at the universities at Shady Grove is slightly different. In fact, it's a few $100s less expensive, student fee-wise, to pursue a degree or courses at USG. And that's simply because here at the universities at Shady Grove, we do not offer athletics and some of the extra amenities in that respect that are easily accessible and available at the Catonsville campus. So again, tuition's the same, fees are slightly less expensive at the universities at Shady Grove. And while we're speaking money, there are additional scholarship opportunities that are offered to students at USG. If you would apply to and be accepted into one of the graduate programs we offer at UMBC-Shady Grove, obviously you would be welcome, and we encourage you to apply to UMBC merit-based scholarships. And in addition, as a USG student, there's a separate USG scholarship application that you can complete. We encourage all of our students to complete that every semester, and you could earn anywhere from $500 to, in some cases, full tuition and fees covered through the USG scholarship application. USG provides about $1.3 million worth of funding for scholarships each year. And again, that's offered to students across the 9 institutions here on site. So just so you are in the loop as to all of our services, I recognize all of you are currently in an undergraduate program at UMBC, but we do offer 7 bachelor degrees right here at UMBC-Shady Grove. We work predominantly with transfer students. And we offer 4 Master of Professional Studies degrees, MPS degrees. I should qualify that statement a little bit because 3 of the 4 graduate degrees we offer at UMBC-Shady Grove are what we call MPS, Master Professional Study degrees. One of those 4, it's our degree in cybersecurity, is a Master of Science in computer science. So we can give you some context if you have questions about the difference between the MPS and the MS, but I just want you to be aware of that. They're all graduate degrees. And then, as both Mike and Stephanie noted, there are various what we call post-baccalaureate certificates, which are shorter in duration. Most of our certificates are about 12 credits for classes. So if you want to get your feet wet, as Mike noted earlier, you just kind of want to get a taste for our graduate program, certificates are a wonderful pathway. So you get a certificate, and then if you do decide that you want to apply to a graduate degree later on, the credits that you earned through that certificate can be applied to the MS or the MPS degree, right, that graduate degree. All of our courses are catered to working professionals, meaning that they're offered predominantly in the evening. Next slide, please. Okay, so this slide just reiterates what I had shared earlier. Again, we offer 4 master's degrees, and each of our master's degrees also has either 1 to 2 accompanying post-baccalaureate certificate options. And I just want to stress again that both biotechnology and our graduate degree in industrial organizational psychology are offered strictly at UMBC-Shady Grove. So if you're interested in either of those 2 graduate programs, you would be required to take coursework down here in Rockville. Next slide, please. Many of our courses, both undergrad and graduate courses, are taught by adjunct faculty who are directly connected to local and regional industry. This is important because, we are surrounded by biotech companies, by HR companies. These are folks who are doing the work day in and day out, and they're then bringing that knowledge and the evolving trends and experiences in the work world into our classrooms here at UMBC-Shady Grove. So we obviously have full-time faculty who are leading our programs and teaching many of our classes, and it's wonderful that we do have adjunct faculty who are directly engaged in industry who are coming back to our classes to provide that top-notch, background and information you need to be successful for career launch. As I noted earlier, all of our graduate program classes are offered in the evening, and we have flexible modalities. Again, Stephanie referenced this earlier. We have some programs that are predominantly online. Our cybersecurity program is an example of one of those programs. We have other programs that are more hybrid, meaning that you're going to have a combination of both in-person and online classes that you'll need to attend. And then there are some programs that identify more as in-person. So happy to give you additional context if you have any questions on modalities related to each of our graduate programs at UMBC-Shady Grove. Next slide. This slide highlights a number of upcoming events that we are hosting specifically at UMBC-Shady Grove. At this point, we're getting towards the end of the spring semester. It's hard to believe that in a couple of weeks we'll be in middle of April, but we do have two events remaining. So you'll note the first graphic here highlights our Generative AI Unleashed from Basics to Building workshop that Dr. Ali Youssef, who oversees our data science graduate program, will be hosting. This is going to be awesome. It's actually a Saturday workshop. It's taking place on Saturday, April 26th from 9 a.m. to noon, entirely virtual. It's going to be super interactive. And Dr. Ali has a ton of experience in the AI field. So I encourage you, if you're considering data science, to think about popping in and attending that workshop. Additionally, our program director, Dr. Ben Shariati, is offering a number of online appointments to meet with him as program director of cybersecurity here at UMBC-Shady Grove. So if you're interested in speaking directly with the program director, asking questions, learning a little bit more about our cyber program, we have one more meet the program director session scheduled on May 14th. And again, those appointments are entirely virtual. I do want to give a special shout out. This literally just popped up on our calendar last week. But for those of you who may be thinking about biotechnology and pursuing an interest in that area, we have one additional event. It's a Maryland Bionetworking Summit that we'll be hosting at UMBC-Shady Grove in mid-May. Right now, the tentative date is May 13th. That is an in-person event, but it's wonderful. There's usually about 150 folks in attendance. We have a special guest speaker who talks about a hot topic related to biotech, and then there's awesome food and networking opportunities with local industry. So if you're interested in biotech and you'd like more information about that event in mid-May, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Before we close the session, we'll have a reiteration of our email addresses so that you have that handy. And you're welcome to register for either of these events via the link that's noted on this slide. Okay, next slide, please. All righty, and with that, we know we shared a lot of information with you this afternoon, so we are open to any questions that you all may have for us. Again, you're welcome to unmute yourself. If you have questions in chat, please feel free, or if you have questions, you're welcome to put them in chat, which I'm going to check right now.
Chelsea, I can go ahead and shout out something that came up in chat that might be interesting to other participants here.
Yep.
We had a question about if you can pursue a graduate degree that's different from your current major. And the answer is absolutely. There's certain programs that require specific prerequisites to gain entry into their grad program. So depending on your undergraduate major, it really does depend. You want to speak with them directly. I've put the link to our program pages in the chat. Underneath on that page is the contact information for each department. I recommend reaching out to the program coordinator or main email that they have listed to kind of get that conversation started. But yes, many of our accelerated program students are participating in graduate programs that aren't exactly the same undergraduate degree that they're pursuing. I will also take a moment to shout out our education department. So if you are thinking about becoming a teacher, you can expedite that process by participating in the accelerated program and pursuing an MAT, a Master's of Arts in Teaching, which we offer, which will lead to your, teaching certificate and being able to teach in Maryland. So, yeah.
Thanks, Mike, and thank you for the question. Are there additional questions from folks in our audience this afternoon? Happy to answer.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Okay, so I think I just now realized that there's a difference, but this Saturday I went to the professionals program, and I just wanted like more clarification if those events were two separate, like and if they are separate, is there like, well, actually, yeah, are they two separate things?
Yes, those were two separate things. That was open house for our professional program, specifically in the Division of Professional Studies. And this is the accelerated program, more so those that are currently in their undergrad to participate in taking grad courses while you are an undergrad student. The
Okay.
professional program's open house is once you've graduated.
Oh, okay. So then, well, not accidentally, but I guess I went there and I received like a scholarship for the GIS course they have there. Um, I think this is like more of a personal thing, but I wanted to ask if there was a way that I could like if that could be applied to me as like an undergrad. Well, not as an undergrad, but to take it for grad.
Are you a senior, meaning you're graduating, you're going to enter for the fall 2025 into a graduate program?
No.
Okay, so yeah, that wouldn't be applicable. We have the guidelines listed online. You can reach directly out to me and we can have a conversation. That's probably not for this audience here, but you can reach out to me directly, Stephanie Allen, and we can have an offline conversation.
Okay, yes, that would be good. Thank you. Oh, and then I also have a follow-up as well. For these programs, is there like I was trying to see, but for my major, I'm environmental science, and I wanted to see what programs would benefit my major.
Sure. And Chris, if you don't mind just navigating back to my slide where we list all of the available programs. While that's going on, there are a number of different programs. You already mentioned GIS, or Geographic Information Systems program. We also have an environmental engineering program that might be of interest to you that's available through our accelerated program you can get head start in, as well as our geography and environmental systems graduate programs. Those are the most, I think, aligned with what you're currently doing in undergrad. But as I mentioned before, this isn't necessarily, you don't have to go one for one with the accelerated program. So if you wanted to explore a different program that's listed here, our accelerated program is an excellent opportunity to do that. For academic advising, I recommend reaching out to the programs directly. They'll be able to provide an overview of their curriculum, the concentrations that they're offering, the research that is occurring within that department. And the contact information is listed in chat. If you need me to copy and paste it again, I can, but that programs page lists contact information for all of our graduate departments. So I would recommend, if you see something you're interested in, starting there, getting an idea for what these graduate programs offer, and ensuring that based on your undergraduate degree, you'll be able to gain entry and go from there.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Hi, I have a question about internship. My question is, can I participate in the program while I'm doing internship, or do I have to have that done before?
I am not aware of any restriction on participating in an internship. Is this a specific, what undergraduate program are you in?
Psychology?
Psychology? Okay.
Yes.
And so you'd be interested in pursuing the IOPsych accelerated program?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's not a restriction. I would reach out to IOPsych directly just to double confirm. I'm the director for all of our graduate programs, so there are specific requirements for specific things that do kind of get by me sometimes with all the different programs that we offer. But I've not heard of any restriction on taking accelerated classes and pursuing an internship at the same time.
Yeah, and I can pipe in here. Hi, Tita. Good to see you here. This is Chelsea again from UMBC-Shady
Hi,
Grove.
Chelsea.
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any restriction, Tita. I think the thing that you're going to want to be mindful of is that obviously graduate courses are intense in nature, right? They're a step up from undergrad. So, and this is where working with your academic advisor that you currently have for your undergrad in psych is going to be really critical. And we are offering this session right now because we know all of you are in advising season and registering for classes. So you just want to make sure that you have a balanced schedule. If you do decide to pursue the accelerated path, making sure that you have a nice compilation of undergraduate courses that maybe aren't super, super intense and the hardest you can possibly take at the same time that you're also enrolling in a graduate course, right? You want to look at the whole scope, landscape of your schedule, make sure it makes sense. And that includes internships. Internships take time, energy, effort. They're wonderful. But there shouldn't be anything preventing you from, taking undergraduate classes, being in an internship, and simultaneously pursuing a graduate course through the accelerated programming option. But just again, a conversation that you're going to want to have with your academic advisors. And that is one of the benefits with our graduate courses. They are offered in the evening. So assuming that your internship would be offered during the day, you shouldn't have too many conflicts with class times, etc. So hopefully that helps, Tita. Any
Yep.
additional questions? Okay.
Right. Thank you. Yep.
Sure, you're welcome. Mike, I'm going to toss this. Oh, well, I have one question. I'm going to toss to Mike shortly. I see there's another question in chat. Are all classes in the evening? I'm on the volleyball team, and that's when we practice. So I can tell you for UMBC-Shady Grove, all of our graduate classes are indeed in the evening. I think that's true for our Catonsville courses as well, but I'll defer to Stephanie and Mike on that piece.
The majority of them are in the evening, but we have a couple of online offerings, which they may be asynchronous or meaning that you can take them live or you can take them at different times, or synchronous, I should say, at different times. So there are a couple of daytime offerings for online, but again, majority are, yes, during the evening.
And yeah, it is true they are in the evening. They're normally offered at 4:30 or at 7 p.m. I'm not sure when your practice ends or when it starts, but that's normally the structure. They're a little bit longer and typically only meet once or twice a week. So yeah, 4:30 p.m., 7 p.m. Some of our research courses will have lab time during the day, but for like lectures, classes, things like that, they are typically in the evening.
You are very welcome, Helen. Thanks for asking the question. Mike, a question that I wanted to throw to you simply because it's come up from some of our students at Shady Grove in the past is when students are registering for classes and trying to figure out what graduate course they think they might like to take, obviously in collaboration with their academic advisor and the graduate program director, oftentimes they'll see listings for 400 level courses at the undergraduate level and 600 level courses at the graduate level. Do you have recommendations as far as which of those two they should register for in PeopleSoft?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're looking at the accelerated program, you might see cross-listed courses. Those are typically very attractive for our accelerated students to take because they're fulfilling both of those requirements. So you'll see a 400, 600 level course when you're signing up for a class. It's incredibly important that you sign up for the 600 level section of that class when you're registering. If you sign up for the 400 level class, it becomes a big problem when counting that towards your graduate degree totals. We need you to sign up for the 600 level section. Even if it's cross-listed, the way that it's recorded on your degree and the way that we prove graduate level work was done was through registering for the 600 level 600 level section. So it might seem easy to just go ahead and sign up for the 400 and it's cross-listed. So of course everything's the same, but it's not in practice. And signing up for that 600 level class, even if you have to wait for that request for grad credit form to go through, is the section that you want to sign up for.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, any additional questions? Is there a way to see a list of all cross-listed courses available?
All, not that I'm aware of, because I think you need to, when you're doing a class search, choose a program as one of the primary kind of, you have to select a program before you search for classes. What I would recommend doing if you wanted to kind of just broadly search is whichever program you're interested in, look at their 400 level classes. That should show on there. It'll say 400/600. Those will be the cross-listed courses. So, for example, if you're interested in, data science, for example, you can see what courses are being offered. Data science is a bad example because we don't have an undergraduate data science program, excuse me. If you're looking at computer science, for example, you can search for undergraduate courses being offered for the fall under computer science. Look at the 400 level courses and you'll see if it says 400, like 401/601, that would be a cross-listed course.
Okay, now we're getting towards the end of our session here. Any additional questions? You all have been super engaged and attentive. Thank you. We love the questions and interest. Okay, I'm not necessarily seeing any additional questions in chat. So Chris, if you can take us to the end of our slide deck with all of our contact information, that would be awesome.
And Chelsea, just one more clarification I make, just in case the last thing that I said might be a little bit confusing. In the accelerated program, you don't have to just take cross-listed courses. Cross-listed is just a popular, when they're offered, it's a popular option for accelerated students to enroll in them. Many departments don't offer cross-listed courses, so you'd just be signing up for the 600 level classes that are available. I hope that makes sense.
Yep, that was great added clarification. I would say probably, and this is just in my experience in working with our UMBC-Shady Grove students, the vast majority of our students in the accelerated program are looking at straight up graduate courses, right? They're not necessarily cross-listed, but there have been a few upon occasion who've had questions, and we just want to reiterate that if you, as Mike said, if you're looking at a course where there is a 400 and a 600 level option section, you need to register for that 600 level. Really, really important. I can tell you, because I've helped to support our students through the process, there's a lot of extra paperwork and exceptions and things you need to go through if you don't register for that graduate level section. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules. We know as we near the end of the semester, it's exceedingly busy, so we appreciate you being with us this afternoon. Again, this slide reiterates the contact information for both UMBC's professional programs at Catonsville. On the left-hand side, their email address is professionals@umbc.edu. And then on the right-hand side, again, the contact information for UMBC at the universities at Shady Grove. SG professional programs at umbc.edu. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions. We are more than happy to help. Again, the accelerated programming option is a really wonderful benefit for UMBC students, and we hope you'll consider staying at UMBC as you look ahead. So any other information, Stephanie or Mike, that you want to share from your end?
Nope, just a thank you to everybody for joining, participating, and engaging in the questions. I really appreciate it. And as Chelsea said, I hope you take this opportunity to continue your education at UMBC.
And Mike took the words right out of my mouth. I was excited to come off of mute and thank everyone for attending. And I really, really hope that we see all of your applications.
All righty, perfect. Well, enjoy the rest of the afternoon, everyone, and take good care. Thanks again for joining us.